So people use the words win-win in negotiation pretty loosely, and when we teach negotiation, we tell our students that win-win actually has a particular analytical meaning. And the idea is that joint gains in negotiation are created by a relatively simple recipe or using a simple recipe. And the idea is that both sides are going to engage in the following trade: is they're going to give up something that's relatively cheap for them and get something that's relatively valuable, and the other side is going to do the same thing. So the idea, of course, is that you may negotiate and there may be lots of issues. There may be price, there may be quality, there may be payment terms, lots of other kinds of things. And some of those issues you really want to have, and some of the issues are relatively unimportant. Now, there's a problem when both sides really want an issue, and that's going to be a situation that we're going to say is mostly distributive, because if one side wins, the other side loses. So price is usually something like that. But inevitably, there are issues that are different in the sense that one side has a priority over one issue and one side doesn't. So you may care a lot about reputation, and so you may want a lot of publicity about a particular negotiation. That might be the thing that's most important for you. The other side doesn't care about it at all. They're happy to let you write the press release however you want, and to the extent that they get something that they want more, which is maybe a longer contract. So that might be something that is really important for them, not so important for you. And in that particular case, it makes sense for them to maybe write the press release that is advantageous to them, and you get the duration that is advantageous to you. So one of the things that we've done in some of our research is we've showed that when people walk out of a negotiation, they typically think that they do better than they actually do. So the idea is that in any given situation, in any given negotiation, there is 100% to split. Nevertheless, when we ask people after the negotiation is done to estimate how large a percentage of the pie that they took, they typically give numbers like 70%. So the buyer thinks that he got 70% of the pie, the seller thinks that she got 70% of the pie. So obviously if you add 70 and 70 together, you get about 140%. And the idea, of course, is that both sides are systematically overestimating how well they did in a negotiation. There's a difference between the perception of what people create and the reality. And so one thing that I think is important to always understand in negotiation is that perception is really all that people are largely going to walk away with. So to the extent that people walk away with a feeling that they've done well in negotiation, that's going to bring them back to the table. On the other hand, we also know that perception oftentimes is off base. We think we did well for our organization, and maybe over time we're going to discover that we didn't do so well. We see the other organization keep on growing in terms of their market cap or share price, and we see our organization struggling. Presumably, one of the things that's happened is that we haven't been such great negotiators relative to them. And so it's not just important to feel that you did well, it's also important to understand whether you actually did well.